Board meeting or foundation? Foundation, you go through it around.
This one would work.
We lost Mr. Cease.
Can I still speak?
Yep. Dustin, you all ready? Right. Okay, good deal. We'll call our meeting to order. First item is public comments. Did we receive any requests? Okay, we did not receive any requests for folks to speak. If someone would like to speak, please raise your hand and I'll pause for a few minutes and let you fill out a form. So if you were unaware of the procedure. Okay, very good. Thank you.
First item on the agenda is approval of minutes, consideration claims and payroll, October 7th, in a regular session and executive session. Board members also received the claims docket, payroll claims, and the minutes in advance of the meeting. Also received the September bank and fund financials that were included for review, and those are the items up for the approval and consideration of the minutes.
I move to approve the minutes, claims, and payrolls as presented.
Second.
We properly moved and seconded to approve the minutes, claims, and payrolls. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion carries.
Factors of negotiations, have gone through this a couple times, but the contract is limited to salary, wages, and wage-related benefits. Contract language must comply with Indiana law and be submitted to the Indiana Education Employee Relations Board for compliance determination. School corporation may not deficit financing. The main revenue generator for is the education fund, which is student enrollment, and legislative branch of the Indiana government develops a biannual budget and limits that budget constraints to schools, and the contract has to be within that biennium. In this contract we're talking about today is a one-year contract. Consideration for the master contract between the Rossville Classroom Teachers Association and Board of Education. We had a tentative agreement that was approved on September 17, 2025 from representatives from the Teachers Association and the Board of Education. Indiana law requires a school employee to hold a public meeting to discuss the tentative agreement, which was held on October the 7th. The next several slides will review the tentative agreement, which has been posted on the corporation website and the government Indiana Gateway. The tentative agreement was posted 72 hours before our meeting on October the 7th, 2025, and at this last public meeting. The proposed contract is for this year. I've indicated that 24-25. Rossville Classroom Teachers Association ratified their teacher agreement on October the 3rd. The major components of the agreement were presented to the board on October the 7th, and the Board of Education now will consider ratification of the contract at tonight's meeting. Health insurance for the 25-26 school year. The board's contribution for the cost of teacher health insurance shall remain unchanged from 2024-25 year contribution through December 31 of 25. Beginning January 1, the board's contribution will to the cost of teachers' health insurance plan shall be a maximum of $8,500. That's up for single plan and $13,500 for family plans. It's prorated based on the number of paid periods remaining in the contract.
Is it 13.5 or 15.5?
Sorry, 15.5. They wouldn't like that. Nobody would. Compensation plan outlines the funds to be distributed to eligible teachers for the 25-26. That's in Appendix A of the contract. The Board of Education shall employ new teachers, and their base salary shall be determined as outlined in Appendix A as well. That's attached to the contract, and the board will also pay the teachers' portion of the Indiana State Teacher Retirement Fund. Salary range for eligible teachers from 25-26 increase Appendix B, and then for the 25-26 school year, the base salary after compensation is both of that Appendix B. Teachers will be paid for extracurricular appointments as provided in Appendix C, and will also pay the teacher proportion of teacher retirement in that for extracurriculars as well. Salary range, beginning teachers, at the start of negotiation, or from last year, the range was $44,500, and the top was $76,855. That does not include TRF, but TRF was paid. After the increase rewarded through the compensation plan, salary range for eligibility for full-time teachers will be between $46,000 and $78,055. And that's in compliance with Indiana Code 2028-9-26. Does not include TRF, which is paid also by the corporation. That's in Appendix B. Minimum salary is $46,000 as indicated. No full-time teacher who instructs students at least 50% of the day is earning less than that. Base salary increases, general eligibility. So a teacher had to be here, not been rated as ineffective or needs improvement for the year prior, so last year, and they must have been employed for at least 120 days. A teacher does not meet the eligibility requirements will remain at their prior salary year. Evaluations define a teacher has received either highly effective or effective evaluation from the prior year. Academic need, which has to be 10% of the compensation. Academic needs shall mean a teacher who has one of the following qualifications. Either they have a literacy endorsement or they're high need, and they could have both. A teacher is qualified to teach upper level academic classes that are limited to Indiana Academic Common Core credit courses and or advanced placement courses of equivalent value. Also, if they're licensed a teacher as a special ed teacher, or if their base salary was below that $46,000, it brings them up to the $46,000 range. After increases in the evaluation rating and academics needs have kicked in. The maximum compensation under the plan shall not exceed for the academic need area shall not exceed $600 and may be awarded for those three areas that I talked about. If you got a literacy endorsement and you've got one of the other two areas, either 2 or 3, they could get $600. They'd get $300 for the literacy endorsement and could get another $300 in the other two categories. The maximum addition to the employee's base pay under the high need category shall not exceed $600, with one of the categories being literacy. I just indicated that. Initial determination eligibility was documentation no later than October 1st of the current school year upon verification, which for the literacy endorsements on the teacher's license, then they're eligible for this additional compensation. Factors. So evaluation is $1,200 total. Academic needs is a maximum of $600, either $300 from the literacy endorsement, and the high need area is also $300. So, and then no salaries under $46,000. So the most anybody could receive would be $1,800. You have to designate the amount or the percentage amount because that academic needs has to be at least 10%. Ours is 33%, and the evaluation component is 67%. You may also note that I have 0% on education experience because that's limited to 50%. So we don't even go there, so that's a good thing. So for new hires, we've changed the ranges. We brought the lower level up, so it's $46,000 for a 0 to 4 year teacher to $49,000, $47,000 to $52,000 for 5 to 9 years, and these are new hires. $49,000 to $58,000 for 10 to 14, and $51,000 to $62,000. If we have a high need area, or there's an area that have 3 or few qualified applicants, we can offer those individuals $3,000 more over that base band. Appendix C is your extracurricular schedule. That is was $44,500 last year's base salary. This year it's $46,000. So all the indicators or the multipliers were adjusted for that. Contract terms are from July 1 to June 30th, so we'll go back and do a retroactive pay for these individuals. First payment for the contract for July 1 will be processed November 7th on payroll.
Okay. Indiana law requires the school corporation to allow public comment on the proposed agreement. The last several slides have reviewed the components of the tentative agreement. The board will consider ratification of the contract momentarily. If you'd like to be heard or address the board concerning the master contract, please rise and state your name. You'll have 3 minutes for your comments. If anyone would like to address the board regarding the teacher contract. Seeing no one, we will close the public hearing part of our meeting and move on to other personnel items.
Consideration of administrator's contract. Administrator's contract have been updated and are presented for consideration. The superintendent's contract, middle high school principal, the assistant principal for the middle high school, the elementary assistant principal for the elementary, athletic director, corporation Title IX coordinator, the director of student services, and the student support specialist. Also is the classified handbooks pay schedule. Recommending the handbooks for classified be updated to reflect wage increases and hourly changes. You have 3. You have non-exempt handbooks and Clinton County Joint Services. It's effective October 19th, 2025, and the first pay would be November 7th. So that's a little retroactive there. Exempt handbooks, first payroll and back pay on November 7th. And the school bus driver handbooks, first pay, back pay November the 7th. And then resignation, Caitlin Green has submitted her resignation as an instructional assistant effective January of 2026. Brenda Lovelace has been placed on administrative leave with pay pending investigation. Notice was served via letter on October the 9th. Consideration appointment. Mrs. Ford's recommending Rebecca Doringer as a child care assistant supervisor position. Roles designated to provide adult coverage during operational hours before and after school care program. And as I indicated in the last meeting, we're currently exploring extending child care services in the summer months. Position would help facilitate providing families with a safe, structured, supportive environment for their children during the summer months. Currently, it'd be for the current 1st grade through the 6th grade. We're still working on the details, but more than likely, the others that do it don't provide lunch. They would bring their lunch, and we would see the same thing happen here. And then consideration of appointments. Mr. Hammond's recommending Sierra Hall as a homebound instructor for a student at Rossville Middle Senior High School, 2 days per week, 1 hour per day. Commitment should be compensated $32.24 per hour. Mr. Dennison's recommending Aubrey Buck for after-school homework teacher. For the 25-26 school year, she would be provided service 3 days a week at a rate of $20 per hour, expended through the Title IV grant. And that is the personnel items.
I move we approve the personnel items as presented.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded to approve the personnel items as presented. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion carries.
Budget, we have 4 different funds, 4 separated funds that make up the district's budget. Some other corporations have other funds, such as other funds. We don't have those. So education funds used for education related expenses, teachers, salary, building administrators, salaries, benefits, and supplies. Operational funds is basically running the building, includes maintenance, custodial expenses, utilities, central administration, transportation costs, school plan operations, school bus replacement, technology services, purchase supplies and equipment. Debt service, think of that as mortgage on your house. It's paying off the debt that we have. And then rainy day is used for any repair or replacement due to failure of any part or any structure or equipment or any other emergency. The funding source, the state provides funding for the educational funds and some of the operations. We transfer up to 15% from the education fund into operations each month. You can't go over 15% a year. Local property tax does the operation fund, which is a monthly transfer, as I indicated, and then also debt service, which is expense driven, and then transfers for unused and unencumbered tax fund comes to the rainy day fund. So state support, you have an October count. We were up this year, which is a good thing. We'll have a February count. The academic honors diploma, special ed count, which is December 1, career and technical education count, which was October 1, and then the non-English speaking count. Miscellaneous, we have fees, which we don't have a lot of, license excise tax, commercial vehicle tax, federal institution tax, and local income tax. How I figure the budget, I have 10 pays taken from the 25-26 schedule of expenses for personnel and any other expenses, but this is mostly, since it's mostly personnel driven. So I take 10 pays from there, and I take 16 pays from the 26-27. I project an increase of those categories, and then I use that number to calculate a salary, a calendar year salary for 26. So this is what we're approving. There are 35 columns in that calculation, 621 rows. And there's a lot in that calculation. So how much it splits out, you can see that salary and benefits account for the majority of the education fund expenses. Purchase services only 5%, and supplies and other only 4%. So it's really built, education funds built around people. Operation funds a little bit different because when you get into equipment and supplies, school bus replacements in there, so that could be $175,000 right there. Purchase services, it could be your mechanic, professional services, utilities dues, and then you got salaries and benefits. Debt service, the entry, the ag and the gym was 2018. It's done in December of 2037. The field house was 2021. That's done in December of 2040. And the parking lot is done here in January of 28. So that's the first one that's coming up to be finished. Rainy day fund, I put them out there just in case if we have something that happens, and then we can come back and do an additional appropriation if needed. So consideration of the budget resolution, recurring transfers. This is a different area. I talked about the transfers each year or each month not to exceed 15%. That's what this is about. We transfer up to 15% of the basic grant revenue from education fund to operations. Transfer reports included for review, and as noted, the district is under the 15% threshold. So we're at 14.72. Resolution has been provided for the 26 budget year to transfer up to 15% monthly to education fund receiving from the Indiana Department of Education basic grant reimbursement to the operation fund. School budget. So you've heard about the 26 school budget, 2026 school bus replacement plan, and the 26 through 28 capital projects plan. They were advertised local government finance and website and posted to district website. Public afforded the opportunity to be heard concerning the proposed budget.
Okay, at this time we will open up the meeting. If anyone would like to address the board concerning the budget, please make yourself known. You will have 3 minutes to state things. Okay. Hearing no one, we will close the public hearing on the budget and move on to additional financial items.
Yeah, one more. That's consideration of donation. Sarah Johnson's donated 4 wobbly stools. Mrs. Arnone's class, sorry, the value of each stool is estimated $100. So that's all the financial items I have.
I move to approve the financial items as presented.
Second.
We're properly moved and seconded to approve the financial items as presented. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion carries.
New business miscellaneous items, recommending a memorandum of understanding between Rossville Consolidated School District and Coach Kids of Clinton County. Partnership supports the district's ongoing commitment to student social and emotional development by providing mentoring opportunities that connect trained adult volunteers with students who need additional encouragement and guidance. So that is the miscellaneous item I have.
I move to approve the miscellaneous items as presented.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded to approve the miscellaneous items as presented. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion carries.
So FFA's been busy. On the 7th, they had soils practice. On the 17th, they had soil practice. And the 18th, they had soils practice, and they went on to win the state in soils. So that was practice paid off. So that was, I believe that was at Huntington. So on the 22nd, they're feeding the farmers at Rossville. So that's my field trip reports for this evening. I have one case, our conference request. Mr. Hammond's requesting to go attend the Indiana Association School Principals Fall Conference in Indianapolis on November 23rd through the 25th.
Okay, with that, I will accept a motion to adjourn our meeting.
I move we adjourn the meeting.
Second.
The properly moving second to adjourn the meeting. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Our next board meeting will be Tuesday, November 4th. That is election day. And we will be here?
Here.
Okay, at 7 p.m.?
Yep.
Okay, very good. So, thank you. Thank you for attending.
I will be here.